Coming up next on the Wet Fly Swing podcast.
Well, Happy Days, Happy Days was not only just a show for me, it introduced me to the world. I got 55,000 letters a week from all over the world. No matter where I go, people invite me to their homes, invite me for dinner. The warmth is exceptional. It is an honor, actually, that so many people who have such different traditions, such different languages, and yet we all have the Fonz in common.
That was Henry Winkler describing the impact of playing the Fonz on the TV show Happy Days. One of the best. Not a heck of a lot more I can say about that. Henry Winkler, today on the Wet Fly Swing Fly Fishing Show.
Welcome to the Wet Fly Swing Fly Fishing Show, where you discover tips, tricks, and tools from the leading names in fly fishing today.
Hey! Have you been noticing the last few months? I've been practicing my A. This has been going on. I've been you can check back in the previous episodes and hear my progress and this subtle hint that we were having this episode was on its way today, and we are finally here to share it. So I never really nailed the A, but I've got the man himself on the show today. Henry Winkler has been a TV and movie icon for my entire life and is here now to sit down and chat about fly fishing and that life. We find out what it felt like to get offered the movie Grease and why he turned it down, how he got the role in the HBO show Barry, and how he's done all this, including get out and do some fly fishing with being challenged by dyslexia over his life. This one is good. I'm very, very happy to share this episode with you today. So without further ado, here he is, Henry Winkler. How's it going today, Henry?
I am sitting here eating time, counting the days until I get to go fly fishing in Idaho.
There you go. I've heard that Idaho is the place. Is that where you like to go? Is Idaho your place?
We went to Montana for 20 years. We have been to Wyoming. I've been to Argentina. Holy mackerel, that was an adventure. But mostly now, for the past 10 years, we have gone to Swan Valley in Idaho.
Swan Valley, okay. And I haven't been there yet, but I want to dig into a little more on the fishing background. I want to hear, I always like to take it back to how you first got into it. So I'm curious to hear if your story of getting into fly fishing is similar to some of our other guests we've had on. So can you take us back there?
Okay. I have always thought I could not fly fish, that it takes a hand-eye coordination and a ballet of hand, rod, and line that I just would not be able to master. And so I just said no for the longest time. I had a lawyer, and his name was Skip Brittenham III, who has won one fly many times.
Yep.
And his wife, a wonderful actress, Heather Thomas, has also won one fly. And Skip said, you know what? I'm taking you and Stacy down the Smith River in Montana. I said, oh, no, trust me, you'll just go. We go down the river. There is a boat ahead of us with a crew. They set up tents, make a meal. We pull in. We have the meal. We either have lunch, get back in the boat, go. They're now building the night camp. I caught one fish, and I was hooked. No pun intended.
There you go. So that's it. So you did so your first trip out was a river trip, like a full deal.
It was the full deal. And, my coordination and my style is ugly, but I get the fish.
Yep. What is the most challenging thing for fly fishing for you? What is the one tricky thing?
Double hauling.
Yeah.
I would have to say I have never, and I have been fishing since 1986.
Mm-hmm.
I have never double hauled. The second thing is the rules, the 7 things you need to do in order to place your fly in the place you need it, and mend, and strip, and watch, and strike.
Yeah.
That is the second most difficult thing for me, because I get so kablooey in my head that I'm casting and I'm thinking it's just beautiful. And it lands in a lump, in a clump on the surface. And I go, well, that's not going to get me anything.
Yep. And sometimes that works though. That's the great thing. Sometimes the bad cast can work, right? You've probably had that happen.
I don't know that I've ever had that experience that my bad cast is just bad.
Yeah.
But when I do get it all together and I'm in the place and the fin is out of the water against the bank in shallow water, quite a ways away, and I get it. Oh my goodness. It's just like nirvana.
That's amazing. How does that compare, getting that fish you just talked about right there, to getting that next big acting role you've had maybe in the past? I mean, you've had some major roles, right?
Well, you know what? I'm very lucky in that way. I'll tell you what is the truth about both fly fishing and my profession. You cannot take for granted 1 minute of being in the process.
All right.
You cannot just do it haphazardly.
Yep.
You will miss the fish. You'll miss the spot. And the same thing about getting the role. You don't present yourself in the most perfect manner, and there is no perfection, in order for them to take notice of you, either as a fly or as an actor.
Is it for you? I've always thought struggles that I've had along the way with what I do, but is it the journey? Is that the thing that you really love with whether that's acting or fly fishing? Do you think about that as like there's no end point for what you do on either?
There is no end point. There is no end point. That is true. I never thought of it that way, but that is true.
Yeah.
I'm already packed for June 12th.
Oh, yeah.
My waders, my boots, my underwear, my soap, my reels, they're all packed.
That is cool.
Yeah.
That is cool. You're ready to go.
I just cannot wait.
Yep. And is this kind of an annual trip you do? This is like...
It is with my wife, who is a very good fisherwoman.
Oh, wow.
Now she goes fishing. We leave pretty much the same time. There are times when I report to the pickup spot and tell her guide, lucky you've got the day off. She will get off the river early and then get a blizzard,
oh, yeah. From a Dairy Queen or whatever.
Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
But she does it her way and enjoys it her way.
Yeah.
And she gets her fish too.
There you go. Everybody has their own way to, that's the great thing about fly fishing. Everybody has their own thing that they love about fly fishing, right? Maybe it's...
Do you know what I tell people? I just had this discussion with a young couple. They're both young doctors, and they're going to go somewhere, maybe to a dude ranch or somewhere. And I said, "Oh, do they have fishing?" And they said, "Yeah, we were thinking of trying it." I said, "No, don't think about it. You've got to go. You've got to go. And while you're concentrating so hard on your fly, don't forget to look up, because your eyes will pop out of your head on where you are."
Yeah. That is totally, yeah, no, I think about, with fly fishing. So for you, there's nymphing, there's dry fly fishing, there's all sorts of different types. Is there one type of fishing you like? Do you like to get them on the surface, or do you care?
I did not for the longest time think I was good enough or that I was capable of fishing with a dry fly. So I would be very happy nymphing. And then one day, I guess my mind grew up and I started to dry fly, and I was successful at it. And I thought, wow, this is fabulous.
That's cool. That's cool. You have taken that next level. A lot of people, some people, they don't ever get there, right? They because dry fly is challenging, right? Getting the fly just perfectly matching the hatch but you've had success.
I have had success, and I'm very willing from 9 o'clock in the morning until 4:30 in the afternoon to cast right through lunch. I rather cast than eat. Then I realized, oh, we have to stop for lunch because the guide probably is hungry.
Yeah.
Which really pisses me off.
There you go.
And I give him my fruit, my cookie, and we're back at it.
That's it. There's a good tip for your next guide to remember that, because I've done some guiding as well. Not much. It's challenging. Guiding is hard.
Oh, I don't know how they do it.
It's hard, but the good thing about it is there are people that are just born for guiding and they love it and they're great at it. And those are the people I'm sure that you've probably worked with, some of the best, right?
I have had amazing guides, and they have all my respect. First of all, I think to myself, they are pulling that boat all day long. They're watching me not think about where my cast is going. They are watching the fly, watching the rocks, watching the flow, watching the fly, telling me when to strike. They are extraordinary human beings.
Yeah. Yeah.
I put them in the same category, even though the level of difficulty is not the same, like with firemen.
Oh, yeah.
They take such good care of you, and they get so excited when you catch the fish. And then they know where the fish are.
Right.
And there are sometimes I'm looking, I fish by myself in the boat.
Oh, yeah.
Because I went with my wife. She was in the front. I was in the back. And of course, your listeners know that there's a rule. In front of the oars, all the way up the river is hers.
Yeah.
Behind the oars, all the way down the river is mine.
Yeah.
But if I see water that looks fishy, that is calling to me, and it is above the oar, I'm in it. And rather than argue, we meet for lunch.
There you go. There you go. I love it. So you're gonna have lunch. That's part of the gig. This is, Henry, this is amazing because for a number of reasons. Fly fishing brings everybody together who listens to this show, which is the reason why people come here to learn from some of the best and hear about some of the names of people who love fly fishing. But everybody is diverse and everybody does a bunch of different things, right? They love all sorts of other things on top of fly fishing. And one thing I want to dig in with you a little bit here is on just briefly on some of the acting that you've done, and not really to dig into that, but just because some stuff resonated with me. And one of them was obviously Happy Days, right? Everybody knows you from Happy Days. When I was a kid, Happy Days was probably the biggest show, right? I've seen every episode, but you've done so much after Happy Days, right? So much after, and you've even gone to this point where you've written these children's books, which speak to me big time because I've had that issue.
Lynn Oliver and I have written 39 novels
Wow.
for children and one adult book, which is for fly fishing. Everything that I learned about life from fly fishing. And then it was supposed to be a book of photographs that I took.
Yeah.
And it turned into kind of like a memoir.
Yeah, that's right. So talk about that. Describe that for somebody who hasn't read that book. What could they expect to, can they get a glimpse into more than just fly fishing? Is this like into your life?
Oh my goodness, I think so. I think I cover being a parent, being a professional, how important fly fishing is to me. I think about it when I'm not on the water all the time.
Wow.
And sometimes I have to distract myself because I am just so frustrated that I'm not there.
Yeah. So why not just, here's a maybe an obvious question that I would think about is like, why not just retire altogether and just fish 100% of the time?
Because look what I'm doing. I'm doing a show called Barry.
I know.
I just won the Emmy for the character. It is one of the great characters of my career.
Yeah.
I'm 76 years old and I'm still living my dream on the stage and on the water. Why would I retire?
That's perfect. No, and that is a pretty obvious question because the stuff you've done in acting, I mean, like I said, you starting out with Happy Days because everybody knows you from that, but everything since then.
Well, it really depends on the age. You can always tell what generation people are from. The Water Boy,
Yeah.
Scream,
Yep.
Arrested Development, the Parks and Rec.
Yep.
All of it.
MacGyver.
Well, that was the first show I ever really produced. And I produced it because I couldn't get hired as an actor.
That's one point I want to touch on because I want to go back to the fly fishing, but and I know you've talked about this before, but this is really interesting to me. Again, you go back to and I remember all your roles. Every show you talked about, I've seen, you know what I mean? I've seen them all, but
right.
Happy Days ends and bring us to that moment really quick, just to talk about that, because since then you've gone on and done so much more, right? But that was a turning point in your career.
What, Happy Days?
Yeah, after
Happy Days, Happy Days was not only just a show for me. It introduced me to the world. I got 55,000 letters a week.
Wow.
From all over the world. No matter where I go, people invite me to their homes, invite me for dinner. The warmth is exceptional. It is an honor, actually, that so many people who have such different traditions, such different languages, and yet we all have the Fonz in common.
Yep.
It's fantastic.
Wow. Can you talk a little bit about, was that Fonz, that character you created, how much of that was just from your ability to create a character,
Well, they write, the writers.
Yeah.
Write the character. They write stories. During the week, because we rehearsed from Monday to Friday, and then shot it Friday night in front of a live audience.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So during the week, you would have talks with your producers and say, this joke isn't working. This, they would say, you're not seeing this. You didn't put this into the scene, this kind of emotion or this thought. And so it's very collaborative. But when we would do it in front of a live audience, stuff would come out of me that I never planned, never rehearsed. Just there it was.
That's it. And then just take us there a little bit on the timeline. So after Happy Days ends,
now I didn't have a job. Now I had an office at Paramount, and no one would hire me because I was funny, really easy to work with, but I was the Fonz. Now, Scream, they would not put my name on the movie.
Oh, wow.
They would not put my name on the poster. They thought, well, he's the Fonz. He's going to knock the balance of terror.
Right.
So now they show the movie, they assemble it, they put in temporary music, and then they show it to an audience, let's say in San Diego, in Missouri. And when my character came on the screen, I got applause. So then they came back to me and they said, would you do press for the movie? Now, of course, since my friend directed it, I said, of course I would. But I went from they would not even associate with me to now they want me to go out and do press.
There you go. And then you just kept, moving forward from there with all sorts of.
You have to, that's another thing I learned from fly fishing is enormous patience, because not everything comes on the heels of the next thing. You wait, you audition, you pray, you hope, you schmooze. And then, so now I've done a lot of stuff, but in the time span of 45 years, so there was a period there of 8 years where I didn't work as an actor, and then I became a producer out of necessity. I became a children's book writer out of necessity. Somebody said, well, until you get hired, write a book. And then we wrote 39.
Wow. And when did the fly fishing book come into that picture?
Okay, that's a good question. I am going to cheat.
Yeah.
And I'm going to look at the date, because I literally don't remember. 2011.
Oh, wow. Yeah, there you go. So 10 years ago. And you started fly fishing how long before that? I'm not sure if you have that.
1986.
Yeah, that's right, 86. So you had a good time. So you had some skills in fly fishing by the time you wrote that book. And how did that feel when you got that book out there, when you were completed that? Did it feel?
It felt great.
Yeah.
It felt great. It really did.
And did you write? I know one of your struggles has been, you've talked like with the children's books,
Hank Zipser. There's Ghost Buddy, Alien Superstar.
Yeah. Describe it just quickly, what the premise is of those books. Who is the target for those?
Well, this is Hank Zipser in the second grade. And we use a font that makes it easier for the eye to make friends with the page.
Oh.
And we're the first ones to use that font. So he's in the second grade. He doesn't know yet that he's got a learning challenge. All he knows is the frustration of not getting anything right. Then there is Hank Zipser. He's in the fourth grade, and he finds out that he's got something with a name. He's resourceful. All of these books are funny first. We write books to make children laugh. And then they happen to be about a kid who's got, 1 out of 5, 1 out of 6 children on the earth has a learning challenge.
Yeah.
And it's hereditary.
Yep. And that's why it resonates so well with me. And I know you had that same challenge, with dyslexia, right? Throughout your life. Still.
You never get over dyslexia. You learn to negotiate.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and that's a great question, because I always talk about the struggle I had with reading as well. That's why this resonates with me. All the way through school, I could read, but I just wasn't a great reader. All the way up until college. Yeah. And it took me college, and finally through college, something snapped, and now I'm fine.
Yeah,
but it took me my whole life to get to that point. And that's what I love. This is amazing.
I understand. It's the wiring in the brain. A child is disruptive or moves all the time. They bounce, so their
Yeah.
leg bounces and everything. And it's not like they're doing it on purpose to make life difficult for you. It is the wiring in their brain. It doesn't compute. They can't spell. I can't spell. Look, I've got a word like schedule.
Yeah.
All right. I have it taped just above the computer because I use it all the time. And after all this time, I cannot just sound the tenacity. I can't sound it out. So I have it, you figure out how to make your life easier.
Yep. That's it. So when you're on the river, you're on these fly fishing, does all that disappear?
No, because the putting together all of the steps of making the perfect cast, making sure there's nothing on your hook, all the way down. You forget, or
Right.
you can't,
Yeah.
you can't put it in order, or just, and so you figure it out.
You figure it out. You
Yeah.
figure it out. And that's it. And I've been skunked to be honest, I've been skunked plenty of times on fishing trips, right? So a lot of the great thing about fishing is it's just like you said earlier, it's about being outdoors. Even if you're not catching a lot of fish, sometimes just that experience.
Oh my goodness. That's why I say one of the most important parts of fly fishing is looking up
Yeah.
and seeing where you are,
Yeah.
because it is breathtaking.
Yeah. It
Matter
is.
of fact, I think everybody should go fly fishing, and maybe this country would calm down a little bit.
I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, that's exactly what we need if we get everybody on the water fly fishing. Um, do you have a fly pattern that you've done well on that you've caught some fish on?
I went, this is Maisie. Hi, Maisie.
Macy?
Maisie.
Oh, Maisie.
She's 2.
Nice. What is she?
She is a golden doodle.
Oh, golden doodle.
And you're a good girl, aren't you? But I went to this incredible resort in Tennessee, and I took my wife because she always wanted to go there. And it's called Blackberry Farm. And on the property of Blackberry Farm, they have a beautiful stream with trout. And the fish master there, the guy who was in charge of the river, made me a pattern called the Winkler, which is really like a little mayfly.
Yeah.
But I was so proud that I had a fly with my name. And I'm almost out, but I have used it, and it's pretty successful. But
there it is.
You got to have X-ray vision.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel! Where is it again?
Exactly.
Do you see it? Because there it is. Well, all right. Then you have to dry it off, put it back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh, that's cool. I think that's one of the struggles is you can see me. I didn't wear glasses a couple years ago, and now I wear glasses all the time, and it's a struggle for but we deal with it, right?
You bet. I didn't wear glasses, and I got the fly in my cheek.
Ooh.
Then the man said, "Oh, don't worry about it. I'm going to take a piece of lime, and I'm just going to pull it out." And none of that sounded right or comfortable.
No.
But it worked like a charm because I go barbless. So thank God.
Oh, wow.
It just came right out. He pulled it with a piece of line, and wow.
There you go. That's a good guide. There's another guide tip for you. What do you have on tap? You're going to Idaho. As you look out, do you have other places, kind of the like bucket list places you want to go to?
Here's the great thing about being a celebrity. You get calls. Hey, how about if I outfit you? You can bring somebody with you, and I'll take you for 10 days to New Zealand.
Wow.
I've heard that New Zealand is great fishing. Now, unfortunately, we went in April, And the best time to go, I think, is December, January. But there I was. I got a beautiful rod. I got clothes. I got sunglasses. I got a reel. And I caught 3 fish in 10 days.
There you go.
But I remember those fish and I gave them names and we correspond.
And it was New Zealand. And you went to New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Which is I think most people would love to go to New Zealand if they love fly fishing.
But I would go to Argentina first.
Yeah.
Oh my God. There are 2 guys from Montana. The PGA, I think it is, or PGR. Patagonia River, PRG.
Oh yeah.
The Patagonia River Guides.
Yeah.
2 guys from Montana who've made friends with the gauchos.
Yep.
And they get access to private land. Wow.
Yeah.
Some of the fish I caught, I could ride back to LA. Wow.
These are sea run. Yeah, these are probably the sea run trout. I know I haven't been there yet, but I know it's on my bucket list for sure.
I'll tell you. But those 2 guys, I mean, it really is to the nines.
Yeah.
They treat you well. I think maybe it's different now, but you have to get your wine at the airport.
Okay.
You have to buy your own wine. And there was Australian wine and it's just
all good.
Yeah, and I don't drink, but the men I was with, Skip Britton III took me. Skip was my lawyer.
Your lawyer, that's right.
Who is a master fly fisherman.
There you go. That's cool. Yeah, that's awesome. All right. So we got a little, I was just kind of thinking, Argentina is the topic that always comes up. Take us back really quick because you had a couple more things that have been really big and things that I have heard about and watched. But so we're going back in time again. Grease, one of my favorite movies of all time.
Grease.
Talk about that.
They came to me because I was very popular as Fonz. And they asked me to play Danny Zuko.
Oh, wow.
And I thought to myself, well, I don't want to be typecast. And I've just played Danny Zuko for 10 years.
Yeah.
So I said no. So I went home, poured myself a V8. John Travolta said yes. He went home and bought a plane. So,
wow.
If I were to look back again, would I have done it? I would have tried. The only thing is, I can't sing really.
What about dance?
Dance, I'm a good dancer. Now I dance from the waist up. But at the time, I could use my whole body.
Oh, yeah.
Now I have a negotiation with my knees when we get out of bed. I said, I'm ready. Are you guys? Just let me know anytime you want to make a move.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. What about, so I don't want to leave Barry on the table either. You mentioned it earlier, but talk about how that role comes to you, because this is a powerful.
Well, sometimes there's a God who's looking down on you. Stacy and I just left an estate planning meeting, which you lose brain cells. You leave them on the coffee table, on the desk. I had no idea what they were talking about, but nodded a lot, signed my name. We're in the car driving down Ventura Boulevard in the Valley in LA. Get a phone call. Bill Hader. HBO. You're on a short list. Ooh. Let me ask you right now. Is Dustin Hoffman on that list? Because if he is, he's going to get it. I'm not going in. They said, no, he's not. I went, all right. They sent me the script. My son, Max, who told us he wanted to be a director when he was 10. He's now 37, a new father, and a really good director. He directed my audition.
Wow.
Very strict. And I went in. I read for Bill Hader, who I had watched on Saturday Night Live for years. I made him laugh. I thought, oh, this is a good sign. And then I didn't hear. Then he calls and he said, hey, I wrote 2 scenes. You wrote 2 scenes, nice. You want to come in and play? In my mind, I was going, no, I don't want to come in and play, because if I was good the first time, I might screw it up the second. Sure. Bill sent him to me. He sent him to me. I sent him to my son via email, and he directed me over the phone. Max now is directing me over the phone. I went in and I got it. That was 2016.
16. Wow.
Oh my goodness. It turned out to be one of the great roles of my life. Gene Cousineau, acting teacher. Amazing.
Yeah. That was your acting teacher.
No. No. Cousineau is actually a name that was the obstetrician that Bill Hader and his wife used for the birth of their daughters. But the character that I play is a conglomerate of their imagination, the teachers I've had, notes that other people have taken on other acting teachers. And this guy was supposed to be a total asshole.
Yeah.
To start. And the way he came out of me, he was a little more human. And so they thought, we could go that way too.
And it worked.
Yeah.
And it worked. You guys are still going.
Yeah.
This is good. Well, that's definitely on my, on my list of, I've got a lot of stuff I need to watch, but.
Well, you know what? I would suggest that you watch Barry first.
Yeah.
I mean, the other stuff doesn't compare. I don't even know what it is, and I know it doesn't compare.
Yeah.
There are 8 episodes each season. There are 2 seasons, and now we're in the middle of the 3rd season. And I promise you, you will binge. You will not just watch one and walk away.
I love that. And it's a little bit on the dark side, right? It's got some darkness.
Not just a little bit. Sometimes I take a flashlight to work.
How do you deal with that when you play those roles? But it's like, because I always think of roles like this or other ones like Ozarks, right? Where these really extreme things that happen.
Great show. Great show. Barry's better.
Barry, there you go. That's awesome. Well, when I watched Ozarks for the first time, I had to stop watching it because I was so scared.
Yeah. Well, that might happen to you, but and Jason Bateman is a good friend.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
And he has a great podcast. Bateman has a good podcast as well.
Yeah, and they've never invited me, so maybe he's not such a great friend.
I'm going to call him out here. We're going to get Bateman. I'll get you on the. I love that show.
I'm telling you, is that shocking?
It is shocking.
Wow,
that is really shocking. They have one of the. They have. I'm sure you're going to be on it soon because they have one of the funniest podcasts out there. And you've been Henry. This has been a pleasure to have you on here.
Can I just say I thoroughly enjoyed chatting with you.
I think fly fishing has brought us together. I have this podcast that we've created around fly fishing, but it's allowed me to connect with some of the most amazing people, in the country, around the world.
Well, because, the title of the book is I Never Met an Idiot on the River.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, I've really never met somebody who likes to fly fish and everything that it entails, the patience, the beauty, the respect of the river, the respect of the fish. I've never met an idiot who is a fly fisher person.
Nope. No, that's a good title. As we get out of here, Henry, what are you most grateful for in your life?
I am most grateful for my wife, my children who are mostly rude, my grandchildren who are loving, and the constant growth that opens my eyes to the dimension of living.
Wow. And fly fishing has this movement called the 50-50. It's trying to get more women into fly fishing, right? To be more diverse and this thing that's going on. struggle for me is my family is because I'm out doing a lot of stuff and it takes me away from my family. For you, you've been away. How have you dealt with that, where you've been away from your family?
Well, now, but I do Barry. I shoot it right here in LA.
Oh, wow.
So I'm home at night if it's not a very long shoot. I'm home on the weekends. When I did Happy Days for 10 years, I was home Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Saturday and Sunday. Thursday was a long day, and Friday was even longer.
Yep. You've been around. That's great, because family is obviously important to you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, where can we send people if they want to track you down? At any place on social media where we can?
Well, I love Twitter.
Oh, good.
Until there are major changes.
Yeah. Henry Winkler for real on Twitter, I believe, right?
Yeah. Number 4, Henry Winkler.
Number
4. The number 4, real.
Yeah.
REAL.
Yeah.
And I'm almost at 1 million followers.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It took me this long. I started when we were doing the movie that I love, Here Comes the Boom, with Kevin James. And that was like in 2011, maybe a little earlier. And I love that movie. But I love Twitter.
Yeah, you love Twitter. I'm going to track you down on Twitter because I love Twitter as well. And I'm going to, once we get this episode ready to roll, we'll get it out there and we'll share it out to your community.
Well, I wish you and everybody listening tight lines.
So there you go. Another massive podcast in the books for us. Hope you enjoyed that one. If you want to check all the links, all the show notes, everything else today, wetflyswing.com/334. I'm going to have some killer movie snippets, reels, and hopefully we got a whole line of some of the movies that we talked about today. Pretty amazing, right? This is a pretty epic day for me. Not only is Henry Winkler into fly fishing, he is an amazing actor and also a very cool and funny person. This is going to be a hard one to top, but let's not even think about topping this one. Let's just let this sink in. The episode today, very cool. We are still building this show up from the grassroots, and it has been created one share at a time, one download at a time. That's the way we've done this. If you haven't shared an episode yet, this is the one to get it out there. Let's share this one out. Let's let the world see this fly fishing superstar. And let's see if we can break the podcast download number today. Let's see if we can do it. Let's see if we can break our host and put in a massive number just to see what that looks like. All right. Thank you for your support and for supporting this podcast. See you online or see you on the water.
Thanks for listening to the Wet Fly Swing Fly Fishing Show. For notes and links from this episode, visit wetflyswing.com.